Most people believe saving money is the responsible thing to do. From the time we're young, we hear it over and over. Save your money. Put something aside. Be careful. Don't spend too much. Prepare for the future. And honestly, on the surface, that advice sounds logical. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're an entrepreneur or someone trying to build wealth outside a fixed salary, saving money the wrong way isn't helping you. It's quietly holding you back. If you've been saving consistently, yet your life hasn't changed, your income hasn't really grown, and you still feel financially stuck, this message is for you. Welcome to Financial Wisdom, where we talk about money the way it actually works, not the way it's politely explained. Let's start with something important. Saving money feels like progress. It feels disciplined. It feels safe. But safety and progress are not the same thing. For employees, saving money often works. Their income is predictable. Their risk is low. Their growth comes from stability. Entrepreneurs live in a different reality. Entrepreneurship rewards leverage, speed, and intelligent risk. And when entrepreneurs use employee-style saving habits, they unknowingly slow down their own growth. The biggest danger isn't that you're saving money. The danger is saving without a purpose. Money sitting still is not neutral. It doesn't just wait for you. Over time, it quietly loses power. Inflation slowly eats away at what your money can buy. But even more damaging than inflation is something most people never feel directly. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the price you pay for waiting. It's the business you didn't start, the skill you didn't learn, the system you didn't build, the chance you didn't take, because you wanted to feel more comfortable first. Think about this. You save $10,000. You feel proud, disciplined, responsible. That money sits in a bank account for years. It feels safe. But 5 years later, it buys less than it used to. Not because you failed, but because money that doesn't move slowly decays. And the real loss isn't the interest rate. It's what that money could have done. Skills you didn't acquire. Systems you didn't build. Opportunities you didn't take. That's opportunity cost. And it's invisible, which makes it dangerous. This is where most entrepreneurs get stuck. They confuse protection with progress. They treat saving money as the goal, instead of treating it as a temporary position. Employees save for security. Entrepreneurs save for deployment. Big difference. Cash is not wealth. Cash is potential. And potential that sits unused eventually disappears. Here's a mindset shift that changes everything. If you're building wealth as an entrepreneur, your job is not to protect money at all costs. Your job is to turn money into something that produces more money. That could be skills. That could be systems. That could be ownership. But money itself is not the end goal. The problem is this. Saving feels productive without requiring courage. It gives you the emotional reward of discipline without forcing you to make decisions. Action is uncomfortable. Deployment feels risky. Saving feels clean. And that's why so many intelligent, hard-working people stay financially stagnant for years. They're not lazy. They're not careless. They're just too focused on avoiding loss instead of building growth. Here's something most people don't like to hear. Comfort is expensive. Comfort costs time. Comfort costs momentum. Comfort costs opportunity. When money sits untouched, it doesn't challenge you. When money is deployed wisely, it forces you to think, learn, and grow. That discomfort is where wealth forms. Now let's be clear. This isn't about gambling your savings. This isn't about reckless risk. Smart entrepreneurs don't take blind risks. They take calculated ones. So what actually works? First, separate safety money from growth money. Every entrepreneur needs a buffer. 3 to 6 months of basic living expenses. That money is not for investing. It's not for experimenting. It's there so fear doesn't control your decisions. Once that buffer exists, everything else must have a job. Money without a purpose becomes lazy. Second, every dollar should serve a role. Some money buys skills. Some money buys time. Some money builds systems. Some money produces cash flow. But money sitting with no intention isn't discipline. It's hesitation. Third, speed matters more than perfection. Most entrepreneurs don't fail because they lose money. They fail because they wait. They wait for clarity. They wait for confidence. They wait for certainty. And while they wait, time keeps moving. Progress favors those who move with incomplete information, but strong judgment. Perfect planning has never made anyone wealthy. Execution does. Now, let's address the fear that's probably sitting in the back of your mind. What if I lose money? Fair question. But here's the truth. Losing money teaches faster than saving ever will. And staying stagnant carries its own cost. Risk is unavoidable. Stagnation is optional. The goal isn't to avoid loss completely. The goal is to avoid staying comfortable for too long. Most people think wealth comes from saving aggressively. In reality, wealth comes from ownership, leverage, and intelligent deployment. Saving is the starting point, not the strategy. If you've been saving money and feeling proud but stuck, this isn't failure. It's a signal that it's time to move from protection to intention. Money that's working feels different than money that's sleeping. Working money creates pressure. Sleeping money creates false peace. And the gap between those two states is where most people remain for life. At Financial Wisdom, we don't teach fantasy or shortcuts. We talk about money in a way that respects reality. If you want to build wealth like an entrepreneur, you have to think differently than the average saver. You don't need to be reckless. You don't need to be lucky. You need to be intentional. Because wealth doesn't come from how much money you save. It comes from how effectively you put money to work. If this way of thinking resonates with you, subscribe. This channel is about money that moves, decisions that compound, and financial wisdom that actually leads somewhere. Thank you for being with us.